morning, good day to you as usual, wherever and whenever you listen to this series of knowledge seekers by Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. We welcome you back and we try to see what we can learn together about the space of time and time in space. In the past few weeks, as we endeavor to understand time, what creates time and what is the essence of time, a number of what are called puzzles in the process of creation becomes very clear. For example, is the time being on Mars is the same as the time being here on this planet? We calculate our days according to the time of the Earth. So many hours makes one day. But Mars or Jupiter or another star has a different time position than us. How do we match up? How do we gain time to be the same time as the position of departure or arrival? On the planet Earth, when we travel from one line, we decided to be the line of horizon, to the other, we are back or forward by a few hours. How do we adjust the time in a space? And how do we arrive in the passage of time in that place, not 1,000 years before or another 1,000 years ahead, but today's time, on Earth, equal time? If you ever studied cosmology, you will see that planet Earth is not the only one with a slight angle from its vertical position. It creates the seasons, it creates its time of horizon, and the rest of it. Out of number of planetary system in the solar system, only one or two are near vertical. The rest all have an angle. They have a position of angle. And this position of angle decides a lot of things in respect to the what we call the energy position and possession. What is such a magnetic field on Earth with its some degree of what we call deviation? It will be totally different than in Venus, which is going the opposite direction, and its days are very different. For example, Saturn has an inclination of 26 degrees from the vertical. You look at the Uranus, is more or less 90, 100 degrees. When we consider going, for example, from Earth to Mars, Mars is the closest to us in the inclination of the angle. But Mars has very similar, what we call time as with us, which is the closest to us. We run about 24 hours. Mars is about 24 hours. But how come Mars does not sustain life? We don't see life on it. And how can we transfer time from one planet to another, from one star to another, from one galaxy to another? In the coming time, when we start what we call traveling in different dimension, which brings us to time of zero, we can change the magnetic field strength of the possession. That it will bring the time to the place and position of the creator. What this means, It means if we manage to reach the absolute zero, in a way gravitational than magnetical, then we should be able to travel in the time of zero time start of the universe. Which means we manage to get on the line of the expansion of the universe. And if we do the same, it will be the unicos. In the future, mankind will not travel with UFOs. That's for sure. It's too slow. Mankind will not travel by transmutation. It is slow compared to travel in time. What does this mean? This means that once our knowledge reaches the maturity of the place, position, and position, magnetic gravitational field, direction, and interaction with totality of the universal field, man can travel the time into the time of the creation. And in that process, man should be able to see the whole process of the expansion, creation of the universe, if man understands position and position of every field of strength in the dimension of the interaction with this environment. In the coming time, as we develop technologies, as we develop systems to replicate the time, man will come to understand one thing. Would time carry the impression of the emotion of the man? Because that emotion makes the man in a dimension of position and position. One of the main or cornerstones of the time to travel or travel in time will be the essence of understanding of the emotion, not even the soul of the man, but the emotion of the soul. That the time with the emotion creates the place, creates the position, and creates the condition of position. Man can travel in the position of a stone, listen in the voice of the soul of the stone to what we call the position, what is happening, and then return back in position and time to be in time for confirmation of existence. In the future, mankind will not travel. Mankind will not consider the method, the ways that we have chosen to live, to exist, and then the life becomes immortal. Immortality won't be 1,000 years. If the man can travel into the time of the existence, knows the knowledge, then the man will live eternity in the lifetime of the universe. In that time, there is no losses. In that time, there is no gains in the direction of the field of the motion of the existence. Today's understanding of time by man has created itself a dilemma for man to see the truth about the creation, the time of creation, the way the whole world of creation was created. In so many ways, if we expand the knowledge of the creation of the position and then understand the creation of the place, then man can decide on position of the man. Once you create the time and understand the game of time is the order of magnitude of the collective fields of the all three in all the dimensions of the field strength, then man can change the time and create the position or the place. In transmutation systems, we play with one factor of the time. And once man can play with all three factors, man will find the eternal life, the true understanding of the creation, and even one can go through the what we call universal condition of reversing the whole structure of the what we call life cycle. Darwin speaks about mutation in the structure of the DNA of the man. We call evolution. If man can understand the evolution in time, man will see the whole progress of the creation of the universe. In a way, man needs to go in time of what we call the creation of the black hole, the essence of the creation of the creator. Today's teaching is not for those who don't understand. Today's teaching needs thousands of years to be understood. And we teach for that day. As man unravels more and more the secrets of the position, the magnetic field, the strength of life in every dimension of creation, in the essence of interaction and understanding of the totality. Then it comes for us to further understand. We have the time we chose of the earthly time. What is the position of our solar system time? We have never considered. We have always looked at where we live and what we are concerned about. We have a horizon. Where is the horizon of our sun? We have never endeavored to understand this because our knowledge is so self-centered on this planet. Then when the knowledge seekers of the future understand the process, the understanding of totality, then it becomes very interesting. What this means, I'm trying to bring you to understand. We have the sunrise of our planet. It creates a time for us according to our system. We always considered how long it takes our planet to rotate around our sun. We always measured the sunrise or the speed of rotation from one point to another of different planets and their moons on this solar system. But what is the time? What is the horizon line for our star? How long does it take for it to change dimension in respect to its black hole, its central position of its galaxy? When we travel the time, we have to consider that time, as we are not in the time of the earth, but we are in time of the solar system. Then we have to add another dimension to create the dimension of field strength of the galaxy in respect to the center, where is the horizon on our galaxy in respect to the center of point. Then you understand, to create a dimension of the position and the place with the creator needs multitudes of what we call magnetic field strength in respect to the time of the planet, the galaxy, the solar system, and even the totality of the black hole itself, the center point itself. As this center point itself has a horizon in respect to the universe. Creating time to travel the span of the universe is different than the time on this planet, as we have to consider different order of magnitudes of the magnetic field and gravitational field of the solar system, and not only of the planet. What this means, if you go back, for example, to the teaching of the years ago, when we used to deal with the multi-core systems, each core has to create the time magnetic fields of the Earth, the solar system, another core, then the galaxy, another core, and then. Then you understand, to create, to travel the span of time, to see the creator, or to be part of the creation, needs full understanding of the magnetic field, the spectrum of the creation. One day in the future, man will understand that in his soul, all these dimensions, magnetic field strength exist. And if he manages to tap into this, man can travel the span of the universe in totality of the time of the creation. This is how you travel in your dreams. This is how you travel, going to different parts of the universe, going into interaction with other things, and you still haven't realized that the capability and the power of the brain of the man within the structure of it, which can confine and hold the soul of the man within it. Then it comes to ask one question: how shall we create the time in the dimension and a position of the creator? In the coming time, when the man's knowledge reaches to understand the full spectrum of the gravitational magnetic field of the plasma in a cosmic ray level, man will start unraveling the secrets of the creation in a much deeper way, in a much fundamental way, and in totality of understanding the process of the creation. We lay down the fundamental understanding. We try to understand the totality of the structure. And then we try to go further to understand the structure of the creation. And one cannot reach this understanding till man understands the position, and the place are all dictated by the collection of the fields of the totality of the times of the universe, according to their magnetic field strength. In the coming time, when we can change any factor of the magnetic fields of any of the places, the position or the possession, in conjunction with the change in one of the factors of the time, man will be able to travel the span of the universe according to the wish of the man through the strength of the soul of the man. Man has that capability in his soul. Man or any plasma which has intelligence of the emotion has the capability to create time. We have accepted that we create time in our head, in our brain, in our soul, that we call it the morning, where we accepted freely morning for me is different morning than somebody else's in another position. But now we have to accept the morning for me is different than the creatures of the soul of the universe. What does this mean? In a very subtle way, we are trying to introduce you to understanding of the other lives in other dimensions across the universe, where they live, they exist due different time in gravitational magnetic field strength, and not of the man's amino acid plasma of the life. As man in the recent past has found out through technological development that even life exists in the deepest part of the ocean, in the deepest holes ever dug in the what we call the solid part of this planet, the same way life exists in the universe. Thriving, the same process, understanding the creation and the creator in their own time, in their own place, in their magnetic field, the strength of their position and the position. Some men in the past have managed to free float, free travel the span of the universe by creating the dimension of the full spectrum of the creation. And that is so easy that once one man understands, man gains access to the knowledge of the universe, and then become wise in his true understanding of the creation. But the most important part is that that condition does not need no language, as one understand, gets enlightened by the knowledge of the creation through essence of the emotion, and not by dimension of physicality of the time, place, position and position. I made man in the image of myself, and I possess the full spectrum. Why not the soul of the man? When man exists through my soul, as I exist through the soul of the man, I am the beginning and I am the end. But the end is the beginning of the end. Which means all the fields of the time, place and position exist within the structure of the soul of the man. And if man understands it, man can live the way, the same as the creator. Man shall be the beginning, man shall be the end. And at the same time, man will be strong enough to understand how the life will have different meaning in different times as man travels into it. It's not anymore what is going to be in 1,000 years on Earth. It's more like what is going to be next second in another position in the universe. This is what happens to the soul of the man at the point of departure from the what I call cage of the physicality of the man. Man travels in time to reach the time of his start. Then, if one understands this, one be able to create a condition to measure the field, the strength of the possession of the soul of the man, man easily can find the time where the soul of the man reaches its destination, the place and the position. Then this puts an end to physical reincarnation, but incarnation will be in the essence of the fields of the soul of the man, in the dimension of the existence of the soul of the Creator, where the emotion of the Creator will dictate the emotion of the soul of the man. Emotion exists when two plasma interact. The soul of the man, in possessing the totality spectrum of the fields of the universe, will carry and possess the emotion of the Creator within it, which is the next step in understanding the process of the creation. These knowledges and what is taught today is not in the book of the man, as man has never understood the truth about the process of creation. This is the job of us as the universal teacher, to open the eye of the man to the knowledge of the creation in a true way, where the man independently has to investigate and develop the fields within it to understand the process of the creation and its creator. There is no prophecy. It's only you who have to understand the strength of the what we call what you gathered in your soul, for where it shall go. Would you like the time and destination, the place and the what we call position of it? Would you like to be within the cell of a animal or creature, or to be the creator of that dimension? And secondly, how can you change your position in respect to the time of the creation, where then the position and the position and the place become irrelevant, that the time shorter to the creator becomes the essence of the creation of the heaven for man. Zero time means to be within. And when you have time, it means to be away from. And then, once you can measure that time, it puts you in a position to understand the true position of yourself in respect to the place you manifested, in respect to the lover of the Creator, which is this Creator itself. Maybe, as I said before, you'll find out not too late in the very near future where shall be my soul, in which time, place, position, and possession, and is this where it's supposed to be, and is this the purpose of my life? The creation of the time closer to zero, which becomes and brings you to the Creator, is the promised heaven. And if you understood this and go back to the teaching of the past, it dictates the position and at the same time the place. When the place, the time, the position and the position reaches more or less zero, which is totality of generosity of giving, then you are within the time of the Creator. Then you feel the whole emotion of the creation, and you become enlightened, the whole process of creation for this universe, and not the universe. As at that time, man needs to understand the totality of the gravitational magnetic fields of the cosmic rays of the Creator, which has created to the Creator of the man. This is a big puzzle for man to unravel, but we had to lay down the knowledge that the man in the future has a reference to build on and to understand. We go for a break and we come back and try to answer. But try to listen to the teaching of today, and through it there is a message how you can elevate your soul and how to reach to that point of zero where you become part of the Creator. And if you have not understood, in the future, your future generations might understand the teaching of today. Find the horizon of the sun, then you have managed to move into the next step, and not just the horizon of man on this planet.